welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I have a very exciting book video about what I read in March, my March recap, and then my April TBR, which I'm so excited to get into new books this month. So let's make a cozy drink and get into our March recap. Alright guys, so I made a maple cold brew with caramel. You can see the caramel on the bottom. If that grosses you out, I'm sorry, but my March TBR was quite long for me because I'm kind of a beginner. Not a beginner, but I don't know. I haven't been doing TBR lists for very long. But I ended up just reading 3 books in March. And the first book I read was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I've already read this book, but I wanted to reread it because I was going to finish the Empyrean series this month. Well, as far as it has gone so far. And I gave this book a 5-star. I'm not going to give any spoilers in today's video, but please stay tuned. If you have read the Empyrean series, I'm going to make a whole deep dive video on my thoughts, theories, ratings, and why I thought what I thought of each book. But for today's video, I'm going to keep it safe, spoiler free, and just say that Fourth Wing was a 5-star read for me. I loved it. It was the second time I read it and I was not bored. There was many parts that I was still picking up on. There's so many Easter eggs in this book. And I read it alongside Fantasy Fangirl's podcast breakdown of Fourth Wing, which was such a great experience because you can, I don't know, just hear all the things you might be missing and kind of come up with theories alongside them, and it's really good. And then the second book I read for the month is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I rated Iron Flame a 4.5. I thought this book was really good, but I did get a little bit bored at moments where it just seemed to lag. But I feel like people hate on Iron Flame, and I didn't hate it. I liked the quest. I liked the times where Violet was being challenged. Sorry, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but like on her own, away from Xaden, and I just thought it was a really good book. It really gave a lot of the context, and like you start to dive into beyond the world building from Fourth Wing. You start to actually dive into like history and picking up on clues and finding out truths and all that. So I really liked Iron Flame, honestly. I think it was a much needed book and she did a great job. There was so much in Iron Flame that, like, reading all 3 of these books straight, guys, this month was honestly hard because I feel like I missed so much of it. I guarantee you I have, and I feel like I need to reread it already. Looking at theory videos on TikTok and stuff like that, I'm just like, wow, did I read the same series, you know? And so the final book I read of this month was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I rated Onyx Storm a 4, I think. This book left me confused. I think that's why I gave it a 4. Honestly, now I'm a little bit more probably at a 4.5. No, I still think a 4 because I think there was a lot of it that I was just confused and there's just so much information. I don't know if it was because I read Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and then Onyx Storm in a row, no breaks, but I just like had a hard time getting through this book and I'm confused like with some of it. But I've been watching theory videos and I'm starting to kind of understand and really like this book. That's why I feel like maybe it's gone up like 0.25 points for me. But like when I finished this book, I was just like, what? Like the ending, I didn't even know if I liked it because I was just so confused what was happening. But I don't know if I'm just a basic girl or I just love Rebecca Yarros, but I really enjoyed reading the Empyrean series this month, and I'm excited to break down my theories and thoughts in my next video about the Empyrean series, spoilers and all. But that is my March recap. I did not read anything else. It was a hefty reading month, honestly, because it was the entire Empyrean series, which is a very rich series, and I read it alongside the podcast, breaking down theories. It just felt like a lot. So without further ado, let's get into our April TBR, start fresh, get a new TBR in our hands. It's already April 6th, guys, so I think I'm just going to pick 5 books, and I already started one, and then we'll just see how it goes. So on my TBR will for sure be The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, because I have already started this book. I honestly am not that into it yet. I think that I'm like slowly getting into it. It's very easy to read, this book. I feel like the writing style is so much easier than the Empyrean series. I was like, huh? The whole time I was reading the Empyrean series, like there's so much being thrown at you that this feels like a little bit of a relief. And I've heard amazing things about Kristen Hanna and her books, but I just don't know I'm in the right mood for this. I'm still in a fantasy mood, surprisingly. I just really have fell in love with fantasy, so I'm like eager for more. So this has felt a little bit like a slump to me, but I think I'm gonna pick it up tonight and really get a bigger chunk read and hopefully get into it, because I've heard amazing things about Kristen Hanna's book. So this is my first book on the TBR because I've already started it. What I'm gonna do is pick a popsicle stick, and depending on whichever side I get, I'm just gonna look at each side and see which one book I want to pick more based on which prompt. So I have like 2 prompts for each thing that I get to pick from. So I hope that makes sense. And first prompt of today is a romance, or this says make a playlist for this one. Okay. I think I'm gonna pick a romance because I know which romance I want. And it is Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. I need to read this. My sister is already like almost done with the series, I think, or a few books in, and I need to like be on the same page as her. I'm very eager to continue the series. So I also have the special edition, which is beautiful and I love it. So I'm definitely going to be picking up this book this month, and I cannot wait. So that is my second book on my TBR this month. Next up is a book you're hesitant about, or annotate this book. Ooh, I think I'm going to annotate Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole, because I have heard this book is very good, and given that this is like a series that is still being written and stuff, I really think I would like to annotate it, because I regret not annotating Fourth Wing, because there's so many Easter eggs and things in it that people notice that I never noticed, and so hopefully I can redeem this series by annotating it. So I'm going to annotate this read, Glow of the Everflame, the second book in the Kindred's Curse saga. Next is random number generator or new release. I don't really think I have a new release, so we're just gonna do random number generator. I'm gonna ask Siri, pick a number between 1 and 5. 1. All right, guys. 1, which I'm doing it based on like what is first on the stack. 1 is the Assassin's Blade. Guys, I am so excited to get into this. I might interchange this for Throne of Glass depending on the research I do, because I've heard like starting with Assassin's Blade gives you a lot of context, but also if you want a more emotional impact, you can read Assassin's Blade later and you can read Throne of Glass first. So either we're gonna put Assassin's Blade, but it's possible that I'm gonna read Throne of Glass first. But anyways, I am going to be starting the Throne of Glass series, and I am so excited. Another one. A series you're in the middle of, or a book talk book. I think I'm gonna do a book talk book because I do have some Frida McFadden books, and I would just consider these book talk books. I think I'm going to do The Locked Door by Frida McFadden, because this is what I got for my birthday from my husband, and I don't know. I'm very eager to read this, and this will be a good palate cleanser to save me if I am going through it and not really into these reads that much. Last one of today's TBR is free pick or fantasy. God, do my free one. I'm going to do the favorites. On my TBR list, this month is Daisy Hates by Jessica Hastings, Kristen Hanna by The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, Glow of the Everflame by Ping Cole, The Locked Door by Frida McFadden, The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas, and The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I am so excited, so stay tuned. I'm really hoping that I do more reading vlogs this month. March, I completely failed, y'all, so I'm so sorry. Hopefully this month I will get a lot more reading vlogs and reading content and all of that, and then also just fun content, cozy home vlogs. Yes, let me know what you're reading, what you read in March, and I would love to hear it all the bookish things. I will see you in my next video unpacking the Empyrean series. Thank you so much, and happy reading.